All
I
right.
would hope so.
I don't know if anyone's updating my embed. I am fingers crossed that that is the case. I'm just gonna be lazy here. Since we're into the game here, gonna be watching 4FC versus Next.kz. Once again, my name is Purge, and I'm here with Sheever. Is that correct? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
Indeed.
cool. Well, thanks for joining me once again. Should be an awesome game. This is the finals of the GosuLeague number 4. So we've been working towards this all day. I woke up extra early for this, so I sacrificed pretty heavily. I set my alarm and everything, man. That is rough days. I know, the diehard caster, right? Waking up 30 minutes earlier than usual. So
Yeah. Wow. I'm impressed.
thank you. I appreciate that. So all right, and here we go. 4FC starting out the picking. They're going to get first pick. Next.kz getting the advantage of Dire Team, though. And we'll see what they go for. Next.kz's style can be kind of up in the air. I've seen them do many different things, but they're definitely regarded to be one of the best teams currently. Definitely top 10 for sure. I agreed with that as well with Jacob in the last game. But we're going to see a Invoker as well as an anti-mage ban.
Not very surprising.
Yeah,
To be fair.
not really.
Well, anti-mage maybe lately, a bit more surprising, but
Mm-hmm.
not all that that weird Beastmaster ban though. It's that's quite surprising.
He does sometimes make first round. It has been kind of a trend the last couple of weeks. Some of I don't know. Some games Beastmaster works out really nice. Some games they do not, and it might be kind of like a trendsetter thing. So, for example, one team's like, "Oh, Beastmaster's really good. We got to play them more often." They'll play them, and then the lower skilled teams will see that and be like, "Oh, that really good team Navi is banning Beastmaster first round or picking him first round sometimes." And then the other teams will try to adjust that, but they won't do it as effectively. So the main way that Beastmaster is seeing a lot of play right now is as a long lane solo, so like a Radiant top lane or a Dire bottom, and they kill the trees and they solo the bot lane for a very long time. That's where I've been seeing a lot of Beastmaster, and especially being played effectively that way. So sometimes
Yeah.
we do see first round bans. That was my point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's semi new to me. So, but well, if it's gonna work out for them, then good for them. Lycan ban. I've seen Lycan in a previous game. He wasn't as a game maker as I thought he would be.
Yeah, I felt the exact same way when I watched him a couple times. When I casted with Painted Gold, the other team, and they basically said that the teams need to be practiced to play the Lycan, so he gave the example. He's a pro player for It's Gosu. He basically gave the example that Dare, as an example, played a Lycan game the other day, and they ended up getting like 3 Necro 3s. And the reason that they did that is because when Lycan uses Howl, it gives all of those Necros plus 12 damage. So it allows his spells to go a little bit farther. So they basically coordinated their strat around having Lycan, which is something most teams don't do. They just say, I'm going to grab a Lycan, I'm going to throw him in the jungle, and we're going to farm a lot and maybe do some counter pushing. But it never really does a whole crap load in the mid game is the problem. He has counter pushing abilities, but as long as the team is smart and defends towers, you know, it's not too hard to shut him down. That's my experience at least. So
Yeah, he has to farm really fast and get kills in the early game to be able to do anything. That's really really worth banning him in the first ban round, so to speak. And now I know why they banned out the Beastmaster, because Beastmaster's a nice counter pusher, and they're gonna seemingly push.
yeah,
With Leshrac being the first pickup.
Yeah, Leshrac is a great first picker, first hero to pick up. His ability to kill towers is amazing, really is. Diabolic Edict is one of the best tower killing spells in the absolute game. And Next.kz in return, they go for a teamfight hero, they go for Tidehunter as well as Windrunner, which gives them great shackles. I'm not really sure where 4FC is going to lane the Leshrac, whether or not they're going to do a support or a solo, but either way, he's still very useful.
Yeah, I've seen Next.kz's Windrunner in previous game, and it landed shackles a lot. Really, it was shackle all over the place. So that's gonna give 4FC a tough time.
Yeah, he's really good. Pretty much all of Next.kz's players are very talented. Definitely up there, so... we're waiting for 2 more picks now from 4FC. Probably looking for a solo farm-dependent hero, maybe a Shadow Shaman possibility. Are there any heroes that we missed that are Imba that are not in the pool? I'm looking, trying to remember.
Venomancer.
Venomancer is a good example.
Shadow Shaman.
Yep, might see him as well. I think Venomancer is more likely, especially with the Leshrac picked up here.
Or both, actually, because if they picked up the Leshrac and the Shadow Shaman with that, that's a lot of pushing power right there. Also.
Yeah, those are all both great pickups. Stack those wards, man. Get as many wards as possible. It's kind of a fun little thing to do. They're going to go for an Enchantress instead, so... Chen.
Also pushing power.
Chen's not banned yet. That's a hero we're forgetting about. So that's probably what 4FC was considering. They said, do we want to grab Chen here? They said, oh, Chen and Enchant are still in the pool, so we'll grab Enchant. That way, if they grab a Chen, we'll have the better of the two, for countering each other at least. Enchant does counter Chen pretty well.
Definitely. And the Sand King I'm actually quite surprised they picked up a Sand King. It's not really in line of the rest of their heroes, even though it gives up a nice stun. So if you initiate with the Sand King, then you can give out the Lishrak stun afterwards. But yeah, I'm not really convinced yet.
Yeah, Sand King is really good for that. I think it's 11 seconds of cooldown, and it's an AoE, so if you position correctly, you can make a lot of stuff happen in a long, drawn-out team fight. Just throwing down AoE 2-second stuns is huge. Guaranteed ones, at least.
True.
So,
very true.
And not to mention, his team fight potential is also very good. If you do get a Blink Dagger, you're talking about a nice epicenter and more stuns on top of that. So Sand King can really go a very, very long way when you do play the hero. So one of the heroes that I used to love, and then I just kind of stopped playing him, but he is really fun to play, so yeah.
Yeah, well, in that light, he actually makes more sense. I see a Ricky pickup. That's actually, as a third pickup, they're gonna have to ban out all the, well, they're gonna have to ban out Slardar and well, some other anti-Ricky counter.
Yeah,
they want to make that work.
They might do that. Slardar, we did see, I don't think that was Next.kz who owned a Ricky picker with Slardar, but Ricky Maru is a hero that Next.kz actually really likes playing. He's a carry that didn't see much play at all until like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden teams are starting to pick him up regularly. One of the carries that do see play. I mean, we see Morphling some games, we see Ricky some games, Anti-Mage others, and occasionally Lycans as well, but that's about it for the hard carries at the moment. But he is very strong, and if you look at the Radiant team, they're pretty susceptible to Ricky all over the place. If Ricky finds any of those 3 heroes in the early to mid game with a Diffusal Blade, he's going to kill them solo.
True. I just noticed that Next.kz, these 3 heroes, they had exactly these 3 heroes in the previous game also. So they might try to go for the same tactic.
The Ricky Windrunner and Tidehunter? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, they picked Ricky as last pick then, but they did have him.
Yeah,
so
they're all good heroes.
So heroes.
I don't know if the banning dynamic was the same or not, but I think they picked the best heroes for the options for sure. They won't go for a Chen at this point, of course, and Ricky is arguably one of the best hard carries. At least the ganking hard carries, kind of has a weird playstyle. But second round bans, we also see a Vengeful Spirit, an Enigma, as well as a Shadow Shaman. So Radiant team a little bit worried about the pushing potential of the Dire team, and there's going to be a Broodmother ban as well. So that's really the only thing Next.kz is missing right now is really good pushing power. But if they can keep their lanes up and make sure that Leshrac as well as Enchant don't take a tower advantage, I think they'll have better, stronger heroes in the mid game.
Definitely. And I'm a bit surprised that it didn't ban out Lisa Slardar. I mean, apparently they're not that worried that their Ricky is going to get revealed, because, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of a pub thing than it is a pro game thing, because the average good team is always going to have Dust and Sentry Wards and things like that. And Ricky's strength isn't necessarily having invisibility when he gets ganked. It's being able to just lane switch and nobody having any idea where he is. So he could just like leave a lane, stroll mid, and all of a sudden the smoke comes down and you don't see it coming, because wards obviously can't check that. So, I mean, Slardar is good against Ricky for the fact that amp damage will reveal him in team fights and you don't have to worry about him being sneaky in the middle of it. But I feel like Slardar is a nice counter against Ricky, or Bounty Hunter the same, but it's not a make or break situation. It's not like, I don't know, it's not the hardest counter in the game. I don't think it's as big of a deal.
Yeah, you might be right. Hello, Queen of Pain.
Yes, hello, Queen of Pain. She gets drafted by the Radiant team, so going for more team fight. Burst Nukes. Scream of Pain, very good against Ricky Maru. Burst Nukes also good.
And she will be their solo lane, I would guess.
Yeah, most likely. Smoke does counter her though, that's the only downside, so we'll see if that plays a part, but I think Ricky Maru is probably going to aim for some of the other heroes. Sand King and Leshrac more valuable to kill at the beginning of a fight than the Queen of Pain, so. And Next.kz will round off with the Crystal Maiden, so that's going to be their second support hero, and this means they still have one more farm-dependent hero that they can snag, either a mid or a solo bottom. Not really sure what they're going to go for, but that's kind of why they progress with these picks. They leave everything pretty much open. They can even do like a Ricky Crystal Maiden mid lane if they want to, which would be pretty good against Queen of Pain.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do that. Well, maybe. Maybe.
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially with Next.kz. Especially because they're so good.
There's the Bounty Hunter.
So they're going to go for a Bounty Hunter. We'll see how this works out. I feel like if that was a Slardar pick up by 4FC, I wouldn't be too concerned for Next.kz, but I think Bounty Hunter is a better counter against Ricky Maru. The burst damage, he's invisible as well, so Ricky Maru won't even see him coming, which is an important factor. And yeah, Track. Track is really good. Track is arguably better than amp damage. It has better uses in some senses. Gold advantage for your team, not to mention the movement speed is so good. And if you're running away from a melee hero, you want movement speed, so...
And it's long. It's on longer, right? Duration.
I don't know about the duration. I would have to look that up. But the
I,
cooldown is
I, I,
lower, I think.
yeah. Oh, that definitely. Well, 6 seconds for both, maybe. Don't know. Then.
Yeah, something like that. I think game damage is maybe 8 or something. But it's pretty comparable. Either way, Bounty Hunters track very good against all of these heroes. Movement speed bonus is very important, but we'll see how well he does in lane. I don't know if they'll solo him top. They may. I'm thinking what 4FC is going to do is they're going to put Queen of Pain maybe top, then they'll do a maybe SK mid, and then Bounty Hunter Leshrac bottom, or something weird. Or they might put Bounty Hunter mid and put SK Leshrac bottom. Something like that is a possibility as well. We actually saw that last game is what they did. They did an SK as well as a Leshrac in the previous game, so could see that again.
Okay, and we're gonna see him Storm Spirit middle from Next.kz.
Yep.
You don't see him picked up a lot lately, I think.
Occasionally, depends on the team. I think Dare drafts him a lot. They really, but that's because G is really good. That's a very popular strategy. He's like one of those heroes that I'm not surprised to see here. See him picked up basically. It's occasional. He does see play, but it's not every game by any means. And he doesn't always get banned. Sometimes he gets banned, but semi-rarely, so it's cool to see him get played in, and that's going to allow them to possibly jump up. That'll give him more mobility against Queen of Pain. Maybe that's what they're going for there, so they can say, well, now we have something that can guarantee we get a Queen of Pain kill or something.
Yeah, no, that blink won't be as effective anymore.
Alright, so for the Radiant Team 4FC, this stands for, it's like 4 friends plus some C word. I don't know who that player is. I don't know, but anyways, we have Leshrac being played by Strangby. We have Alex playing the Queen of Pain, Bomb on the Enchantress, Ares Loco playing the Sand King, and Dirichlet. Dirichlet? Do you know how to pronounce that better?
Dirichlet. Yeah.
Okay.
Dirichlet.
Dirichlet. That'll be Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Do you want to...
Yeah, I will go over to Next.kz. Equals playing the Ricky. 13 is on the Windrunner, being followed by the Tidehunter, who's being played by 570. Are they gonna meet? Or are they gonna meet?
Ooh, Bounty Hunter might scout this out here. We'll look for disables from follow-up. Ricky's gonna not have a slow, but they are gonna find the Ricky Maru. Couple bursts and the follow-up stun, and he is gonna be dead. Great start for 4FC there. Ricky Maru in a bad position, being a little bit too aggressive there. Didn't know the Bounty Hunter was around. He only got a little bit of bonus damage, but they were able to get that SK stun off, and that started the initiation, man. That was very well done by 4FC.
And Queen of Pain getting the last hit will leave her with a head start versus that Ricky, if she is indeed going to be versus the Ricky.
Yeah, that's going to be a very nice gold advantage for her. It actually looks like Leshrac is going to hang around top. There is a couple observer wards. First sentry ward actually being used, but apparently it does not close enough to the observer ward, so
Nope.
they're going to be able to counter that, but it's going to take another ward, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I was still going to say that ASD is playing the Crystal Main and the Storm Spirit is being played by Mantis, because, you know, gang happened before.
Yeah, and Mantis is starting things off in the mid lane with pretty decent stats, a little bit of regen as well. The tough part is getting to level 6, but with Queen of Pain up with her bottle already, it is going to be on the way probably. Yes, it is. Bottle is on the way for Queen of Pain, so she will have that advantage. Lots of stats, good base damage and last hitting, and she will be able to harass. And she gets an illusion at level 1, so this is pretty much worst case scenario for Storm Spirit here. He's going to have a tough time trying to match last hits at the beginning.
Definitely. And Trilane's actually, yeah, Ricky with Crystal Main and the Tidehunter on the top lane with versus 2 lane of Leshrac and Sand King. Sand King can't really do anything yet though.
Yeah,
he has to stay back.
He's just going to play very careful. This is what they did in the previous game, except it was the opposite scenario. They were playing Dire Team on top, and they were up against the Tri-Lane, so they're going to play very careful. They will have to be very careful, especially because Crystal Maiden has 2 disables, and Ranged Gush plus a Blinking Ricky is very dangerous, but if SK gets the first stun off, Leshrac can land up the second one, so they're just going to play it very safe. Sand King's going to be here to counter-initiate in case they end up going on the Leshrac. And they may be successful. We'll see what happens when Enchant comes through. Last game, Enchant just spent a lot of time farming and didn't do a lot of ganking.
Okay, well let's hope for 4FC that's different this time, because she's already on her way.
Yep, bringing through the Satyr, looking for the old Shockwave, going to land on 2 heroes. A little bit of damage being done there. They may even push this out a little bit. Leshrac picking up a level 2. We'll see if he goes for Edict. And he is going to snag that. And the mid lane on the meantime, Queen of Pain, now level 3. She is up to 3 last hits, 4 denies. Storm Spirit at 4 and 2, so Mantis doing pretty good. thus far. And on the bot lane is a Bounty Hunter solo versus a Windrunner, which is pretty good lane for Bounty Hunter. As long as he can get a couple levels into Janata as well as his Shadow Walk, he can do pretty easy harass on the Windrunner. But it all comes down to the power shots, as is usually the case with Windrunner.
Yeah, and last hits are quite even so far.
Yeah, 5 and 2 versus 10 and 2. Windrunner doing a little bit better, but that's to be expected. And a short period of time here, Bounty Hunter will probably be a little bit more into doing burst damage to Windrunner.
Yep.
Possible gank towards the mid lane as well. Enchant on the high ground. Mantis is down to 420 HP, but he does have salves and tangos. He does spot them out. They did come down as he was in the jungle, or in the river, sorry. But he's going to be absolutely fine. So, good play so far. He's going to swing towards that bot lane. There's going to be an invisibility rune, which we will snag. Probably won't go for some harass with that one, but we'll see. Invisibility. And he's got a bottle on the way as well, so snags that one up, doesn't even wait for the bottle.
Yeah, it will give him a last, or a free last hit, at least. Something. Because, well, Alas's are actually even. That's quite surprising. Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit. Well, 7 and 8 now, but basically no difference at all.
Yeah, and that's not good for Queen of Pain, especially when she grabs the illusion first. It's a lot of base damage increase, not to mention the easy bottle. She should have been outlaning Storm Spirit here, but apparently she was a little careful or just not as good at last hitting, which is definitely a possibility since Next.kz is a much more highly rated team. Now, in the meantime, Equal not getting the best farm up on Ricky. He's got one of each skill, but his solo EXP has thus far not been great. They did eventually counterward the pull spot, and Crystal Maiden was doing a small camp pull. So getting some good gold there, at least at the very least splitting the EXP across these three heroes, which is very important.
Yeah, she actually has gold again, indeed. Don't see that gold up on Crystal Maiden all that much, normally.
Yeah. And for FC, the Bounty Hunter actually maxing out Shuriken Toss first. I don't really like this too much myself. It does give him good nuke damage. Going in for the gank on Storm Spirit. There's going to be a stun. Satyr Blast, and he does end up dying. So, still a level 4 hero, not able to make it out of there. A little bit of dagger slowing him down, and a nice stun from Enchantress. I don't know if that was a smoke or not, but they did get in position, so nicely done.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden was just there too late. Even though she was around, but yeah. And another kill for the Queen of Pain. So that's 2 for 0.
Yeah, she's doing pretty good. Gonna bottle Crow as well, so sending that back for a little bit of gold. Mantis coming back to the mid guard. This is oftentimes the problem with Storm Spirit, is that if you do not get to 6, you can die so many times, and it's so scary as a Storm Spirit for that to be the case. So he's going back to the high ground. Interesting skill build, going for 2 overloads, 2 vortexes, and 1 remnant. Once again, taking big hits. Queen of Pain, he's gonna do the vortex on the high ground as well as the remnant. Crystal Maiden going for the nukes, does do the entangle and a couple more hits, and it's gonna be a kill. But unfortunately, Crystal Maiden not quite in position in time, and Storm Spirit does end up dying his second time.
And it's level 5 now though, so that helps a little bit. Tornado doing a lot of damage on the Crystal Maiden. Annoying.
It'd be funny to see a tornado kill. I haven't gotten one of those in a long time. It's always pretty hilarious when you do get them though. Enchant back in the jungle.
I can't say I have seen them.
Yeah, it's very tough, but it's happened. I've done it personally, so fun stuff.
Okay.
Bounty Hunter now level 6, picks up a Ring of Health. The reason I wish that he had more Janata over the Shuriken Toss is because his mana pool is really full here. He would be better off to harass the Windrunner with the Janata. He hasn't been spending his Shuriken Toss. You can just keep it at like level 2. It doesn't really scale that well as you get higher in levels. The mana cost is very, very inefficient, sorry. So it's better just to max out the Janata first. You get more harass hits on the Windrunner for no mana, and I feel that goes a lot farther in the lane. But thus far, Windrunner's been doing really good, and in some ways outlaning him. He's going to pick up Phase Boots now. Yeah, he's doing very good. 5.5 minute Phase Boots, plus Ring of Basilius against the solo Bounty Hunter is absolutely great. 13 is doing really well down here.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised Bounty Hunter not spamming his Shuriken Toss at least a little bit. I mean, he does have the mana for it.
I don't know. Just not making smart decisions, basically. He is using his Wind Walk a little bit. He's going to get one hit off. Going to do the possible tracks. Actually, has not tracked. Does some good attack moving, at least. Picks up some decent hits. Storm Spirit pops the Invis. Looks like Queen of Pain wanted that kill. Is going to be looking for another Scream of Pain. We'll see if she casts it. Nope, she's going to blink down to the low ground. 2 levels of Shadow Strike, 4 levels of Scream of Pain. No ulti quite yet. I've seen players like Boba go for this skill build as well, because you generally don't have enough mana to be able to use ulti and the Scream of Pain plus a blink at the early levels, so... Ooh, Crystal Maiden gonna get caught though. There's the Edict, there's the stun. Ricky Mara gonna try to pick off a kill. Does do the smoke, and great backstab damage as well, but it's gonna be a little bit of a tough kill. Looking for a gush, and he's not gonna get it. Salved by Leshrac. Great juking there. And 4FC is looking pretty strong. It's still 4-1, and Next.kz is getting outplayed at the moment.
Yeah, and the gold graph shows that also. 1k in advantage. Not that much, but that's basically the kills. So I guess farms, they're quite even.
On the bright side, their Windrunner's doing really well.
Ooh, Ricky, top lane.
Ooh, Leshrac gets stuns off and a couple nukes. Was that a stun through? Yeah, stun through from Sand King and follow-up from Leshrac and picks him off, so not looking good for Next.kz. He's got 3 levels of backstab as well, so was going for as much damage as possible.
Yeah, he needs to get his farm up to be able to do that damage, though. Might take some time then with that lane up.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain in the middle, trouble. Ooh, never mind. That blink.
Yeah, she does blink back there. More pressure on the top. Windrunner apparently getting ganked on the bot lane. First stun, second stun. The Edict damage on Tidehunter is going to be too much. And this dual lane once again gets another kill. This 4FC dual lane has been really, really effective so far. They just play very safe. They fight against the tri lane, play safe until they have an advantage and go for the double stun. And it is a lot of nuke damage, but something that I haven't seen a lot of teams doing before. Pretty awesome stuff.
I have to say, I'm quite surprised that Crystal Maiden only died once so far. With this lane up, I mean, 2 stuns would be enough for her to die, basically, if she gets caught out.
Yeah. The game is now 7-1, so Next.kz very far behind. The game is teetering on an edge. If the kill streaks continue, the Radiant team could turn this into a stomp pretty easily. So they are going to have to be absolutely careful that they finally get some kills or maybe win a mid-game team fight. They do have a Tidehunter at least. That is always going to help those mid-game fights off. But Ricky has to be so careful. Could just see 1 stun epicenter off of Sand King with follow-ups from Leshrac. If they actually just went on, if they caught both of these guys in a stun, that would be a double kill pretty easily. So
Windrunner just being killed off on the bottom lane by the Storm Spirit and sorry, Enchantress getting killed off by the Windrunner on the bottom lane.
Nice. So did Storm Spirit come in for the gank? He actually hasn't even used his haste. So.
It was so yeah, Storm Spirit ball lightninged in and vortexed, and that was all that needed. Power shot going through, and that was it for Enchantress.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of HP, so a little bit of burst there does do the work. So nicely done there. Bounty Hunter now level 8, picks second level of Janata. Looks like he is going to try to make a medallion, but he is just about to get his chainmail. Centaur coming in for the stomp, being a little annoying, still looking for it. Not going to get it though.
No, that's how they play safe. They're able to do that to just back out again. I mean, yeah, and if they were more aggressive, they would have probably gone on the Crystal Maiden, but that might lose them something, and then they just decided not to even try. That's pretty passive.
But it's been paying off. They haven't died yet.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
So.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, they're playing very well, for sure. Tidehunter is still not level 6, but might come around for the gank. Crystal Maiden level 5, 3 auras, so not really great skills, but the Radiant team does have a warded position. They see where these heroes are at, so they're not going to get overly aggressive. So far, great play by 4FC. We have an Arcane Boots up on Leshrac. It's got good regen as well. I wish Tide had a Ravage, though. If Tide had a Ravage, this could be a way different little gank or skirmish kind of a thing going on.
Definitely. He could change the game around, like, 2 team fights away, 1 team fight away even. Ooh, stun going off on the Ricky. Nah, harassment.
Ooh, Mantis on the mid lane takes a lot of damage as well. He's going to ball lightning out. Oh, it's not enough. He does get killed. That was a rough loss there. Ricky Maru, I don't know if he threw an ability. Enchantress threw 1 impetus, which did a lot of damage to Storm. And then it was a blink and Scream of Pain and 1 last hit there. And Queen Pain got the kill. So 8-2. So did somebody... Oh, that's right. They killed Enchantress bottom. Ricky is now invisible. He's level 6, so this is going to be a lot better for him. Do they have Dust or Sentries or anything? They have 2 Sentries up on the Sand King at least. So, and Tidehunter is about to hit level 6, but not quite there yet.
No, just have to wait until he's level 6 and see if they indeed are gonna play more aggressive for those team fights. Ooh, Ricky gonna get away from that one. Sand King isn't though, or is he? Nah, he's not.
Crystal Maiden's beast base damage picks it up. Sand King goes down. Windrunner kills Bounty Hunter on the bot lane. Another gank, and that was using smoke once again. So smoke shackle shot on the Bounty Hunter. Mantis ball lightning's in, and all of a sudden it's an 8-4 game. So 2 quick kills like that makes a big difference for Next.kz here. Now that they are so far behind, a little bit of a jump down, and the EXP graph looks pretty significant. It's not terrible, and the gold graph still in the Radiant team's favor, but it's not over. They're still doing a pretty good job farming this out. And Ricky Maru got lucky though. That was about 12 HP survive.
Yeah, exactly. And more importantly, Tidehunter is now level 6. So I guess we're gonna see some Ravages.
I would hope so. I hope he uses that skill. Makes his hero pretty good, I hear. Ooh, epicenter, sorry, stun from Sand King. They might have a Dust, 12 seconds here. They could go for this kill. if they want to jump on the SK, I don't know if you realize that there's a dust up, but a little bit of harass. Oh, the tower's going to take damage. There's a shackle shot trying to stop the deny, and the deny does not happen. Stun. Queen of Pain comes through. There's the dagger as well. Uses Wind Run. Oh, blocked a little bit by creeps, and the Vortex trying to slow things down, but the ulti from the Queen of Pain catches him, and Windrunner dies. Rikimaru. Oh, the smoke is late. Oh, the smoke is late. He thought the Vortex would be higher, but he's got 4 levels of overload. That was a big mistake. That was a dead Queen of Pain.
Yeah, definitely. Lucky Queen of Pain. Also.
Tide on the top lane. He looks pretty dead. He's not even going to ravage that. It's not worth it. A little bit of track burst damage, stun edict, and Tide goes down. So 10-4 currently. A little bit of a drop down still from the Dire team. Queen of Pain back mid. Goes for a point booster first. May pick up a negatives.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised Tidehunter was there by himself, out of range of the tower, to be fair. With 2 versus 1, 3 versus 1 during the kill. Probably Enchantress coming unexpected, but then still
Yeah,
risky.
That's the dangerous thing about Bounty Hunter. It's the same as Rikimaru. He can just switch lanes. He didn't know that Ricky was there. Or I mean Bounty Hunter was there. It's just something that you don't know. And he does have a medallion up. Ring of Health, Poor Man's with a Belt of Giant Strength. So he's probably going Treads into maybe a Battle Fury, I'm assuming. But is able to roam lanes. As you can see, he is using his invisibility. Dire team may scout this out. Yeah, they did have a ward up. They might have spotted Bounty Hunter popping in and out. This may cause them to shift. In the meantime, Rikimaru still farming the bot lane. He's got a Ring of Regen. It might go for a fast Vlad's, maybe? I don't know. Ugh. I would not like to see a fast Vlad's on Ricky. I feel like Diffusal's the only way to go. Bounty Hunter gets a kill mid, and there we go. Bounty Hunter using what he's good at.
Yep, and getting a kill for it also. With Windrunner almost has completed her mechanism. That will make a difference, definitely. Especially if they're gonna go look for a team fight with the Ravage from Tide.
Yeah, and especially with burst damage heroes, such as the Radiant team has. They slightly counter a mechanism, but I mean, if you can get it off in time, it's going to be absolutely significant. So, we'll see if Windrunner can help out the team in that sense. Tidehunter picks up a Bracer, boosting up his HP just a little bit. Smart choice, though. He is worried about burst damage. And he's continuing to get some last hits on the Ogres. And farm up towards an item of choice. Not sure what he's going to grab, but yeah, Windrunner's still about 400 gold away. Then she'll have that mech.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ooh.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like Enchantress is going to grab a couple more neutrals. Looking to maybe take bot tower. It is full HP. Bounty Hunter comes through. Still no... It's got some items coming. It's going to be a Treads up for Enchantress probably. Kind of a weird item to fly across the map. And he's going to TP out. He might miss it. Oh, Tide Ravage on the top lane though. They pick off Sand King. Enchant goes in, gets shackled immediately. The Treads did transfer at least, but she gets bursted down right off the bat. Going after the Leshrac now. A couple more hits. There's the Vortex, but he does heal up. Another gush from Tidehunter goes in for the mix, but he's a little bit in trouble. The Fissure is going to land, or the stun, sorry, and he gets picked off. So Tidehunter drops. They pick off Sand King and Enchantress. So far, so good. No shackle on Bounty Hunter. And Rikimaru still in the mix, looking for a smoke. There it is. Smoke damage. Big hits on Queen of Pain, but our HP is pretty high here. And Windrunner going to try to dodge. Does dodge the Scream of Pain. Can't believe it, man. She's still alive. Blink Strike now, and there's the disable. Queen of Pain might go down. Great play from Next.kz. The poison damage might get Windrunner. No, she's going to survive. Crystal Maiden also about to die. What is going on, man?
I don't know. Everybody's below 50 HP.
See a stun from SK. Blink Strike forward. Looking for another smoke. Nope, it's on cooldown. Next.kz wins a great team fight. That was really close. Got to keep those heroes alive, man.
Yeah, definitely. And the mech is complete, and that, well, that team fight might have spelled the turnaround for kills at least for Next.kz.
Yeah.
That Ravage made all the difference.
They're still behind, but they're still sitting much better. We might see Tide TP out from this. He's got chase stuns. There's going to be a 4-step on Leshrac. Stun goes on. Perfect Kraken Shell for Tidehunter. He's going to barely get out. That was an absolutely perfect Kraken Shell, man.
Yeah.
Debuffs that stun.
I wasn't expecting him to get out of that.
Yeah, me neither. I thought he was dead for sure. Mantis trying to pick off some neutrals. His HP is so low. He's going to have to pop one, maybe. Oh, God. Pop your... Oh, that is really intimidating. He's going to ball lightning away, and SK might get a stun up on Windrunner. Windrunner in position, but a little scared about the dive. I like her positioning. The tower could get killed pretty quickly. She's going to try to slow this down with a power shot, but only hits 2 creeps, and she's going to have to let that one go.
Yeah. That's the second tower for Next.kz to go down. Second tier 1 tower.
Mm-hmm.
But only one tower behind. It's not, yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing
Not
too
that
terribly
bad.
at all.
Exactly.
Ricky Morrow now up to 1,700 gold. I believe Diffusal's about 30, 33, something like that. Where are you at, Diffusal Blade? There it is, 3,300, yep. So not a super expensive piece, but a very, very great Ricky Morrow item. He might run into the Bounty Hunter. We'll see who reveals first. Looks like it's going to be Equal, showing himself. Both heroes, they're both like, oh god, you're here? Running into the bot lane like that. In the meantime, Enchanter's still pressuring top.
Yeah, and she doesn't seem to be very contested versus top. Oh, smoke is on though. They're gonna go for the Queen of Pain.
They do get the disable off. Frostbite as well, couple chain nukes and a power shot. That is a dead hero, and she's actually very tanky. That's not easy to get that kill off, so very, very well done by the Dire team. Definitely worth the smoke, I think.
Definitely, and still a nice chaining of the little disabilities that they have. I mean, she could have blinked away pretty fast after she... Well, it was a split second until she could have blinked away, I believe.
Yeah, it was very close. She was casting that when the Vortex came through, but Stormspirit was a little too fast to get that disable off. The Leshrac going to try to slow down this mid push. Same item build as the previous game. Fast Force Staff, giving him viability. We'll be able to start chain initiations with that, and he's going to bottle that up. It's going to be an Illusion Rune, and he's going to the jungle. We'll see if he goes for Fast Bloodstone. I expect that to be the case. He's going to purchase a Point Booster. Yeah, he's going to go for Fast Bloodstone. He'll disassemble these Arcane Boots when he has the money, and that will give him a Bloodstone, and then he can transfer that into a Boots of Travel if he wishes. That's the build that G does on Dare, and it works out great.
And more mana to jump around the map and be annoying, which is perfect in Dota.
Yeah, absolutely. Might see Bounty Hunter go in on the Ricky. Oh, there's the Dust. There's the Gush as well. They might fight it. SK's going to do a stun through, though, and immediately going to run away. Sentry Ward is dropped. There's the Blink Strike pass to get some vision. Another track goes down to Ricky, but Storm Spirit hops in, going on the Bounty Hunter. The Dust is about to run out, and it does finally run out. Unfortunately, not enough vision. Epicenter gets channeled. Good damage. Crystal Maiden, Tide Ravage as well. Smoke still down, and the Sand King does drop, but Strange Buy is doing huge hits to Mantis. He's going to ball Lightning out. Is in a lot of trouble. 2 heroes pursuing him, and a couple more nukes. He knows that he's not going to make it, and he is going to get dropped. Triple kill for Leshrac. Great play. That's 4 heroes dead just for a Sand King. Not worth it at all.
Not worth it at all, indeed. And they only, well, they got a tower in return, but they're gonna take it, give a tower away. Also, that team fight was quite unexpected. There was good supporting coming on 4FC. Like instantly, they were all there.
Yeah, it's always tough to keep an eye on that stuff. When the team fight actually breaks out, you don't see the people sprinting from the jungle. Maybe there's just a lot of people in the jungle farming or so, but unfortunately they weren't able to start the chain initiation off on the Bounty Hunter. They were about to, but unfortunately SK dropped his first stun off. That was what absolutely changed things for that team fight. It was a great smoke, or a great dust by the Tide Hunter, but unfortunately the Bounty Hunter got away.
Indeed. And a great epicenter, hitting three of Next.kz at least.
Yeah, that was huge. Lowered the HP of
Made all
Crystal
the
Maiden
difference.
as well as Tide, I believe. But yeah, Windrunner
Yeah,
wasn't
and Storm
there,
Spirit
so
was there.
was that
Storm Spirit was.
like a 5v4 then? So was all of the Radiant team there? Is the question.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't know if Enchant was. I feel like I saw everybody else though. Not quite sure.
Maybe it was 4v4 then, without Enchantress and Windrunner. Then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, Ricky continuing to push bot. He does pick up some Blade of Alacrity, so he's going for that Diffusal Blade. SK in the side jungle. He's at level 8. A couple wards getting placed down. Actually, they're going to see each other. I think Ricky's a little scared. There's going to be a Gush Shackle as well. Blink Strike looking for the smoke, and that's a dead hero. Windrunner's going to steal it away from Ricky, unfortunately, but they still pick up a hero, and SK is actually really not that farmed. He's got boots with a wand, and that's about it. But he did make great plays last fight.
I have to actually say, Ricky doesn't have any kills at all yet.
Really?
Really.
0-3 and 3.
0-3-3. Yeah. It's quite surprising, especially since even Crystal Maiden has a kill.
Because Crystal Maiden has huge base damage. We already talked about this. Come on.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
And the rest of 4FC is roaming in the Dire jungle. Mantis doing a little bit of stacking. Good way to make his mana go a little bit farther, something we don't see most Storm Spirits doing. They usually do a lot more map pressure, but I feel like this is much smarter since he's worried about getting killed by a hero like Bounty Hunter. So, and there's Bounty Hunter.
I was gonna say, you mean that Bounty Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna die
Ooh.
so fast.
He actually got him there. That was really close. He was about to ball laning away, but great burst damage and ability cycling. That was pretty much a slap and a little bit of Shuriken toss and one more hit after that.
Yep. 3-shotted.
He's going to bring himself a Battle Fury now. plus 65 damage, not to mention the cleave. He will be able to farm, and this boost up his mana regen to good levels. So Bounty Hunter may go for a Black King Bar next, probably would be the smart decision, but pretty tough loss there, losing Storm Spirit in the jungle.
I'm actually quite surprised to find Windrunner as the most farmed hero on the map. Well,
yeah.
Together with Bounty Hunter and Shrek, but
She did do very good, for sure. Ooh, equal Micah jumped on. There's the track. There's the stun. The burst damage is huge. Ricky Mar goes down. 4FC taking a hero advantage. Now they're probably going to try to take the tier 2 tower mid. The ganking that's been coming out of their team has been so strong, and it's put them in a great advantage so far.
yeah, nice positioning of the whole team, actually being able to come together at exactly the right time.
And
Been a pain taking the tower.
yeah, nicely done. Mantis is back up 1,000 HP. Tide Hunter getting a little bit of farm here, but some power shots as well. And 4 staff up on Windrunner, so she is very survivable. They still have to worry about the burst from Bounty Hunter. He's gotten quite a few kills, so his damage is not to be scoffed at. 5, 1, and 3. He's doing very good. Much better KD than Ricky Maru thus far. And where is Ricky Maru? He just respawned. He does have Diffusal Blade at least, so at least he's got a Diffusal Blade. He will be able to do a lot more in ganks and team fights.
I might actually get a kill.
Yeah, hopefully. Ooh. SK looking for a stun. He's actually going to miss everybody. He's going to ball through, does a couple more hits, and dodging. No, he's actually stuck on the low ground. Balls up. There's the Tide Ravage as well. Big hits on Windrunner in the meantime. Crystal Maiden getting low, but going to back off just in time. I can't believe this BKB is finished already for Leshrac. Stun on the SK. Oh, and Storm does end up following. Bounty Hunter, Sentry Ward, nothing. He's going to survive. Oh my gosh. Ricky Maru wanted the kill. There's the track as well. Now Ricky's in a lot of trouble. Stun comes through, and a couple more follow-up nukes, and this is looking really bad for Next.kz. 4FC, man. Outplay Next.kz with laning. It's a 21 to 11 deficit.
I was quite surprised when Tide did his Ravage. Almost everybody of 4FC was still on full health.
Yeah, it looks like they might get Windrunner as well. Oh my gosh. That is huge. 4 staff up on the... I'm pretty sure Leshrac has been 4 staffing SK forward to get in position for the stuns, because the first stun is the most important. Stun comes, follow up Leshrac stun, and that's a dead hero. And we're looking at a 22-11 game. I think this Bounty Hunter counterpick was excellent. I'm really surprised we maybe even don't see more Bounty Hunter used to play against a Ricky Maru.
Yeah, and Bounty Hunter has his BKB almost finished. Well, almost. He's just his recipe, which is actually 1300 gold, so it's quite a lot, I guess. Ooh, and Sand King finally has his Blink Dagger. That will make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Stash.
Could have put 4FC in a bigger advantage for sure. 7-0 and 7 on Leshrac, 6-1 and 3 on Bounty Hunter. So those two heroes are doing great. Even Queen of Pain 6-3 and 8, and Enchant isn't doing that bad either. 1-3 and 7. So Dire team much worse. Ricky is 0-5 and 3, 1-5 and 6 on Tide. Like all of their core heroes, mainly the Ricky as well as the Storm Spirit, are just not doing very well. Windrunner is doing fine, Crystal Maiden is doing fine, but other than that, really looking bad for Next.kz here. They keep getting picked off in team fights and slightly worse situations. There's so much burst damage on the Radiant team. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah. They, and with they, I mean, the Next.kz would kind of need a pipe, at least.
Yeah,
to help
that would be nice.
with some of that.
Especially for against a hero like Queen of Pain, who has an ulti now every 40 seconds, just about.
Yeah. Super annoying. But nobody is really seemingly starting to buy one of those, so it might take a while before we actually see a pipe, if we see one at all.
Yeah, Tide is probably the most likely hero to pick that up, but he is pretty far behind in terms of farm, so I'm not too surprised. SA is going to scout out the Crystal Maiden as well as the Storm Spirit. And Ricky is still there. We might see a straight up team fight. Did they have sentries up yet? There's one going down. Ricky Maru blinks through, goes for a smoke, but absolutely terrible smoke. Couple disables now, and Ricky Maru's trying to run through the smoke. Eats an ulti, and Queen of Pain cleans him up. Tide Ravage will catch 4 heroes. Mantis about to die as well, and most of these guys have to run away now. Looking for another stun to chase up, and there's the 4 staff. Stun's going to miss, but Tide is still in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I will actually die from the Shrek's last hit. That was very bad for Next.kz. Really caught out, and they saw them too. I mean, they had the remnant up. They had vision. They saw them coming. I don't believe. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Ricky.
They went in anyway. Not really at the same time either.
Yeah, Ricky jumped right in. He was like, "Let's go," and that wasn't good. His first of all, smoke completely missed. Missed everybody. He didn't catch anyone under the fuse, and he's already behind on farm. So it's like they're trying to do team fights, but they're so far behind on gold now that it's just absolutely one-sided, and they probably should just try to turtle this out a little bit. I mean, I guess there's things to be said that the game is. You should try to come back now rather than later, but Roshan is going to drop down. Storm Spirit flies in to do as much damage as possible. Does find Queen of Pain. Great smoke finally. Equal taking big hits from Bounty Hunter though, and may end up going down. He's going to blink to the low ground, and they do get Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit picks out the Queen of Pain, but Ricky Maru does drop. They will be able to get Bounty Hunter at least, but that's just a regen. Do they have... Yeah, there's Sentry was everywhere. Holy crap.
And the Aegis is there too.
Oh, we're going to see the Epicenter going on the Windrunner. Windrunner, oh my god, 60 HP. Barely going to survive. There's the Dust now, Sand King in a lot of trouble. Shackle shot for the mini stun, and that's a kill. Bounty Hunter trying to get the Crystal Maiden, but they may defend him. Great Frostbite now. A couple more bursts and nukes. We need Storm Spirit to nuke, and it's going to be enough. Barely get the kill. Wow, that was actually a huge fight.
It was. And it was a team wipe for, well, Next.kz wiped the others, basically. I wasn't expecting that one, I have to admit.
Me neither. That was huge.
I thought free Roshan.
Mm-hmm. They jumped in. The rookie Smoke was perfect that time. Caught a lot of heroes. That's the thing about Roshan, man. Groups everybody up. Smoke was down. A lot of silenced heroes. They picked off a couple. They lost Ricky, but, you know, Storm Spirit's getting farmed. He's got his Bloodstone finished finally, so.
Yeah. And they didn't even have a Ravage for that. I mean, that was on cooldown.
Wow, you're right. How did they win that?
Yeah. So caught out of position for FC.
Maybe they're all out of mana or something. I don't know.
Could be.
They weren't able to kill Ricky at the start like they have been thus far. Every other team fight, so. Storm Spirit wants to disable. There's the Vortex coming in looking for a Shackle shot. Will get it. Gush as well. And this could be Queen of Pain going down. Tide Ravage starts the initiation. SK putting a stun. Ricky showing up looking for the smoke. Smoke a little misplaced, but Ricky Maru doing tons of damage to this Leshrac. His armor is too low, but he's still dishing out the hits. And he's going to end up surviving, running away casually. Tidehunter might die. Oh my god, 3 HP. Blink stun. Mantis range creep. He dies. That's a triple. 2 for each kill. Or 2 for each team, sorry. And Ricky Maru getting nuked.
Wow, that was a little bit of overconfidence from Storm Spirit there.
Yeah, for
thinking,
sure.
oh, we got this. Oh, by Crystal Maiden.
Ooh, Ricky Maru might go. Ooh. Apparently Windrunner kills Leshrac, and Windrunner now running away from that Bounty Hunter. Slight mini stun. He's got a Force Staff though, so not a huge deal. Might wait till the disable. No, he's gonna Force Staff it. There it goes. So that's gonna keep Bounty Hunter. No kill there. Ricky Maru, ooh, very low HP. They actually run through each other. No idea that each other are there. And Ricky going for BKB next, very important. There's going to be a period of time where Next.kz can come back, first of all. The hard carry potential is a Bounty Hunter, he's got a BKB up, but their main damage dealer right now is pretty much SK, Leshrac, Queen of Pain. If they get BKBs up on the Dire team, they're not going to have to worry about a lot of that damage coming out. And not to mention, Ricky will get more physical damage as time goes on, and that'll be great against Leshrac, so. I think they still have a chance here, definitely true. 28 to 20.
Definitely.
It's a pretty big goal disadvantage, about 25%, but... I don't know.
Yeah, but they can take the team fights. If 4FC gets caught out of position again, or out of mana, maybe at Roshan, then you just need a couple of team fights to get that gold back, or get that advantage back. And you must also, I mean, they are 2 towers behind. That 2 towers is like 3k gold, if they manage to get the last hits of them. That's a huge difference already.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The only thing that I'm looking at that is going to be a problem is that Bounty Hunter already has a Battle Fury, which means he's going to farm like crazy, especially with Janata. He's going to be able to kill creep camps pretty easily. So I think for that sense, I think they will be able to outfarm Next.kz possibly. Queen of Pain also very good at farming, but Storm Spirit is very global, so he will possibly be able to do the same stuff. But Windrunner at a Ultimate Orb now is going for a Sheepstick. So... that will be great. Sheepstick is a great item, especially if you can catch somebody out of position who hasn't used a BKB yet, namely Bounty Hunter. It's going to definitely be one of their targets.
Bounty Hunter getting a Desolator. Starting to get. It's also going to be a nice item to have up on him.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of minus armor that will apply. Medallion does stack with that, of course.
Yeah.
Might see a team fight mid. Windrunner in position. There's SK. They're actually going to go on SK looking for the smoke. No, they're just going to shackle him down. Smoke does get landed. Going to see heal up. Equal is now just about maxed out, and that's a nice little pick off and back. Even pulling a lot of TPs from that. I think that was at least 1 or 2 heroes TPing.
Well, I think that they did good with the backing off as soon as they got that kill. If they would have tried, they would have lost a couple of heroes, and now they can just continue doing what they were doing before, and maybe catch somebody else, because now they're in the advantage of 4 versus 5.
And a couple sentry wards, observer wards on the high ground. I love this observer ward placement. They're actually going to jump in, looking for a kill. Disable. There's dust being used. Actually misses everybody there. A little bit of a mistake. That's going to be on cooldown for quite a while now. And they're going to jump in, going on Leshrac. He doesn't get the BKB off. In the meantime, Bounty Hunter's in the mix, doing physical damage, going for, it looks like Ricky Maru, but a couple more disables. It's going to be a focus fire as well, and that's his BKB. It is on cooldown now. They are going to be able to take the tower. There's a come in. Ulti as well. Epicenter does not go down. Tide Ravage as well as the Frostbite stops the Epicenter from happening. He does end up dropping Bounty Hunter as well. One last hit. He drops. Disable now on Queen of Pain. We'll see if Ricky is able to do enough damage to blink up to the high ground. And gonna see a pause. It's somebody DC or something. Mantis saying, sorry. Mid-team fight. 1 sec, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, now everybody can see where everybody is, know where they are, discuss what they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Nah, Queen of Pain is well away.
Yeah, she's gonna be fine.
Yeah, Storm Spirit doesn't have the mana to chase her. But they might have to look at a tower loss, a 2 tower loss, because they already took the first one earlier, of course. Very good team fight, by the way. I mean, they only lost a Windrunner and they took 3 heroes.
Definitely worth it, especially when you get the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter's so farmed at this point. His Black King bar is down to 7 seconds duration. That Tide Ravage was perfect.
Yeah.
It's so huge that Epicenter didn't happen. If Epicenter would have gone off, this team fight would have probably broken even. But he didn't get it off. He did the blink stun first and then tried to get lucky, and it just didn't happen. So that was
Did
great.
he actually... yeah, because he came back and he died again, right?
I don't know if he bought back or not.
No, I mean, he didn't buy back, but he just... The first time he died, and then he died the second time.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm curious how the gold graph is gonna develop after the team fight is being... And the tower loss is being processed.
Hey, you're looking into the future. They haven't taken a tower yet, okay?
They have. There was a tower here. There was
Uh,
a tier 1 tower still left up in the middle.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well,
It
I'm
was.
sorry then. And a little bit of a blood spot.
And a little bit of a blood spot, yeah.
They might take tier 2 as well. That's definitely a possibility. Yeah, Queen of Pain running away is definitely going to have to go back and heal. Enchantress is still full HP, but mostly full. Actually, she's very squishy, though. 891 HP. Probably looking for Tide, but Tide will not get caught. It's got very, very healthy stats right now. Probably will go for a pipe afterwards, I think, but we will see.
Yeah, I don't think Enchantress is going to try, because if she is, then she's basically signing her death warrant, because she'll die.
Yeah, especially with Ricky there. He's got Cloud on cooldown, but a couple disables from Storm Spirit will go a long way. And he actually picked up a lot of charges in that team fight. He was actually down to 4 charges at one point. Now he's back up to 8, so 18 mana per second. That is very, very healthy on the Storm Spirit. A couple pings. And if you guys are wondering what we're waiting for, Mantis, I believe it's Mantis. No, Equal, sorry, the Ricky Maru player has disconnected. Kazakhstan internet sucks, apparently. Next.kz has these issues occasionally, so it's not too surprising. Yeah, it might have been Frostbite that stopped the Epicenter. Might have been Ravage. Either one.
Oh yeah, I have to say I didn't notice.
Yeah, they both casted. At that point, when you're like, there's an Epicenter coming between 3 of my heroes, everybody should throw their stun. Just do your best. The Frostbite cast time is probably very, very low, now that I think about it. It's pretty much instantaneous.
You mean the frostbite, right?
Yes, it has a mini
Yeah,
stun.
that's instant. Yeah, I have been told that's the... If you have a Crystal Main versus Sand King, that's pretty much the one you want to save just for the Sand King in a fight.
Cool.
But yeah, but I guess then at least every stun is probably nice to have.
Yeah, he really should have probably Epicentered first before he blinked.
Definitely, 100%. That's the reason why you get the blink, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you blink and then start casting, yeah, that's a bit obvious.
Alright, so a couple items. A lot of 4 staffs, 3 4 staffs on the Radiant team. You know what the biggest pickoff was that Leshrac dying. Didn't even get his Black King bar off. That's huge.
Yeah.
He has so much money. 12k gold. He actually has just about as much as Queen of Pain. So just about second highest. He actually has as much money as the Windrunner has on the Dire team. By himself. And he just died. Just got blinked on, was standing in trees. That's not a good idea when you're playing against a Windrunner. So it got shackled.
It was a very long shackle shot though. I think he was thinking that he was standing on the safe-ish side, because he was standing next to the tower that was still up at that point.
Yeah. But they do have a Storm. Storm is all about overreaching, so
True.
So
That
far,
was a nice shackle shot.
yeah, definitely. So we looked at the gold graphs. I already checked items. Items look pretty standard. Ultimate Orb up on Leshrac, so probably going cheap. And other than that, looks like Ricky has his Mithril Hammer on his stash. He is about 400 gold away from his BKB. That's going to be huge. Doesn't have to worry about SK, doesn't have to worry about Leshrac. Or even Queen of Pain, so. At least for 10 seconds, I guess.
Yeah. No more stuns for him. But I think only 10 seconds is all he needs to kill the hero that he's targeting anyway. Or less, even. Especially if he has a diffuser blade up.
Mm-hmm. And Bounty Hunter will still be able to slow him, do physical damage, but at this point I think Bounty Hunter is smarter to go for the squishier heroes. Ricky's armor is getting pretty high, up to 16 now. Crystal Maiden or Tide or even, I don't know, maybe not Windrunner, but Tide Crystal Maiden are probably the two that Bounty Hunter would maybe be better to target. It's hard to say though. Depends who's out of position. That's the real important part.
Yeah, positioning. All about positioning. That's a long pause, by the way.
Yep, I'm surprised there aren't more people talking. Yeah, there we go. So apparently the teams are alive. We do see a couple pings. Usually there's a lot of drawing on the map in downtimes, but apparently these teams aren't so active. They're not doing it right. That's how you become a pro player. You just learn how to draw on the map.
Oh, yeah. So that's what they learn.
Yeah. Did you see Infused drawing their Swedish flag?
No,
They do
I
that
didn't.
sometimes because they use they have blue and yellow, so that's all they need, and they can draw a flag. They're very
that's
lucky.
fun. Yeah, that's quite nice though. Teamwork,
Yeah, exactly.
teamwork paying off.
That's why they won that game.
Yep, must be. Yeah. What else to talk about?
I'm gonna run ads on these guys.
Oh,
Gonna
yeah.
make that money.
Sure.
Alright, so Crystal Maiden sitting on pretty good DHP. 2 bracers plus the treads. It's a magic stick as well.
Not an upgraded magic stick.
Yeah, but it's not terrible. I mean, a bracer is probably going to go a little bit farther in some ways.
True.
Bracers give about I think 119 HP. Let me do the math quick. It is 5 less than 119, so 114 I think is how much it gives. I'm pretty sure. Coming. He's on the way.
I'm quite surprised she doesn't have more though. She has 11 assists, 2 kills. She only died 4 times.
Wards, man.
Yeah.
Wards and sentries.
Expensive.
Just look at the map quick. Every single ward.
Okay.
That's 100 gold. So, she is like half of a bracer on the map already in terms of wards and things. So, Tidehunter has Tread Wand Drum, which is pretty good for him. And there's the reconnect. So we're about to start here. Finally. Gonna say sorry. No problem, Equal. We're here for you, bro.
Hooray.
And we're about to start. So there's the unpause on the way. Looking for the chase. Ricky Mars sitting in place. Enchantress backs off. All of our analyzation. Proving things.
They had plenty of time to think about what they're gonna move next,
Mhm.
but it's not very impressive. As in, not very surprising.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Crystal Maiden
Yeah.
putting down a very nice ward. This allows them to get ready to take the tier 2 tower on the top lane. They're going to actually back off here. I think this is smart, though. They have decent pushing power, but the tower has already killed the wave, so they can back up and farm different areas of the map, spread out. They don't have to worry too much about trying to force this tower kill. Most of them were kind of low anyways, so go back and play it safe. Looks like
Invisible Crystal Maiden. Maybe a bit overextending right now.
that's if they have vision.
Yeah, they don't yet, but with the Ricky on the map, it's a lot less effective to be an invisible hero on the map with a visibility rune.
Crystal Maiden is going to get screamed on. There it is. That was a little stupid.
Yeah.
He's not thinking there. Even Queen of Pain may realize. We'll see. I don't know why Crystal Maiden is being so aggressive here. They could just show up. I mean, if she was paying attention, she would have been like, why did that random scream go to a random invisible person? You know, oh, there's the vision. Does break invisibility, gonna run away. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there, but that was pretty weird stuff. Enchantress doing a little kind of warding, and yeah.
Little counter wards where there were no wards.
That's still a good ward position, though. There's a lot of people that they might fight here. Could be something like that. Might find a random Ricky. It's also going to notice any time that Ricky ends up coming through this location. So that's something that you could do. I mean, you can use sentry wards to look for the counter ward, but also if you stack that up with an observer, it counts the same as an observer for a regular hero. So if Ricky Mar ever does roaming, they'll see that coming.
Yeah, and I think it shouldn't be too long before Roshan's back up, or is my time in my head weird because of the pause?
I'm not really sure. Who grabbed it last? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I do. It was the huge team fight. It was Bounty Hunter. It was the team fight where everything turned around.
Okay, so that's where they just went away, got killed, probably. Yeah, that's right. Bounty Hunter died twice. I remember now. Well, we can check on the graph. Let's look for a little bump down. I don't know if that was the...
Ooh, happening on the bottom lane. Storm Spirit in trouble.
He kind of overkilled. He kind of overkilled the ball lightning there. That was a bad time to go check the graph, but that was close. We'll see if he picks up Boots of Travel right now. That's what G does on Dare's team. We'll give him more map, a little bit of more map presence, but he hasn't purchased anything yet. He might go for an Orchid as well. Orchid very good against Sand King, against Queen of Pain. Could do a Sheep, but not sure. He hasn't spent his money yet.
I think he's gonna wait until his track might be gone. I don't know. That was what I was thinking, but now he's still not buying anything, so I guess he's unsure or doesn't know yet.
SK back in the jungle, still treads wand. Blink Dagger is the same thing that he got in the previous game. There are some pings up on Roshan. That must mean that they're getting ready to go for this. Crystal Maiden gonna grab some vision. Apparently they didn't write down the time either, but Crystal Maiden now level 14. This is a super highly leveled Crystal Maiden here. It's not very typical to see support so highly leveled, but there's been a lot of kills this game. That's probably why. But picking up 4 of each levels actually goes for the Arcane Ore. Some players opt to just say, I want stats instead, and they go for stats instead, but they do actually have a lot of heroes that can profit from the mana pool, so we're going to see Bounty Hunter be chased a little bit. Actually, maybe trying to get a gank off on the Windrunner. We'll see. But Bounty Hunter may run into Ricky Maru and Tide Hunter as well.
Yeah, nice counter warding going on the bottom at the Roshan pit also. I guess both are expecting indeed the Roshan back up shortly.
Ooh, nice Tide Ravage gonna stop the SK in his tracks. Couple more hits. He does go invisible though. And lots of BKBs up, as much damage to beat Bounty Hunter as possible. Sentry Ward down. Shackle lands on 2 heroes. SK as well as the Enchantress. Power shot. And he goes down. SK still alive. Ulti from Queen of Pain now trying to finish off that Ricky Maru. And Leshrac also pursuing the Tide, but so far so good for Next.kz. They are going to lose Bounty or Ricky Maru though. And not the best trade. They actually, those buybacks I think. Yeah, buyback from Leshrac. They got Leshrac as well as Enchant. And Storm Spirit not able to find anybody. Leshrac does kill Tide, so far, pretty decent trades. Mantis in some trouble. Shackle shot will land on Bounty Hunter. And a couple more nukes. They pick him off. And gonna grab the SK as well. They are still going in, man.
This fight is not over yet. Ooh!
Mantis
He might die.
almost dying to poison. That was huge. TP's back. Great decision making. He's up to 3,200 gold now. And the Radiant team can see that. So, dude, what happened that fight? Leshrac died twice, I think. He did buy back, I remember that. Leshrac died twice. Bounty Hunter has died. SK died. Enchant died. Queen of Pain.
And the only... Queen of Pain didn't die, I believe, but the only 2 heroes that 4FC got was a Ricky and a Tide.
Oh, was that it?
And that was actually why Queen of Pain didn't die, because she chased them down and then came from behind from on the Tide.
Wow.
Which wasn't really needed because Leshrac had that kill.
And Next.kz is coming back, man. I didn't think they're going to win. You know, I thought the game was over. I'm going to be completely honest. I really thought that they had lost the game. I was like, oh, they're so far behind. But damn, dude, they have just been slightly outplaying their opponents with ganks and things. And they still definitely have a chance to win it. They're still down by about 10k, but it's decreasing slightly. And as the game goes on, both teams far more, this is a smaller and smaller percentage of gap. So they're only like 9k away from the max. Storm Spirit continuing to farm up mid. He's got 1,500 gold, buys the ultimate orb, so he will be going for a sheep most likely. And they're going to be using that for ganks. Ball lightning in, drop the sheep.
Roshan's back up.
So they could go for this. They do find a Centaur. And Ricky Mar with his BKB, he has only used it once so far. He used it last team fight. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see a team fight purely for who's getting Roshan. With Ravage. Oh, Ravage is off cooldown again, also.
Nice. Just picked that up now. And luckily for Next.kz, they have the dire side advantage. So when they do come for the Roshan positioning, they will have better. They will be able to TP support it easier, as well as just have better coverage of that area. So they're looking around in the jungle in the meantime. They're gonna
There's
ping
wards
back.
everywhere there, though.
There's what everywhere?
There's wards.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of wards for sure. So 1 sentry, radiant sentries as well. They do spot that out, but they are going to be going for the kill. Skeleton, poor little skeleton. 1 swipe to the back.
And once again, they know that they're there.
And Bounty Hunter's farm doesn't look nearly as good. How long has he been trying to make this Desolator, man?
Oh, for a long time.
Yeah,
Wow. I didn't notice that.
it's been at least 10 minutes. He had the Battle Fury and the Black King Bar Medallion at probably 25-30 minutes or so. I mean, I don't know if he's bought back. He's died a couple times for sure. He's actually 8-4 and 6 right now, which is not nearly as nice as it used to be. Even Leshrac. Leshrac was like 7 and 0 at one point.
But the Desolator is actually complete. It's on the donkey.
Okay. That's a BKB pop for Bounty Hunter now, so he's going to be on cooldown for 60 seconds. They didn't lose anything. Or at least Next.kz did not. Looks like they used the smoke going for that gank. May back off and take the Roshan now. They only have 1 sentry ward in position, not that close to the actual Roshan itself. But it looks like they're still a little paranoid.
And their own observer ward is about to disappear, so they're gonna lose vision there.
Guess they're okay with this fact. Bounty Hunter's BKB is still on cooldown, but it is very low, down to 5 seconds, so he's gonna pop that pretty much whenever he has the option to, since he doesn't decrease it anymore. Oops. And they're gonna start on the Roshan, so there's the focus fire. And going on the Roshan, there's the Gush. A little bit of minus armor there. Frostbites as well whenever possible. And they're going to kill this.
He's going to drop so fast.
Yeah, before Radiant is even vaguely close. At this point, Enchantress actually pretty low HP. They might jump on it. Nope, going to find a Satyr though. So Enchant only treads Wand with the Force Staff. Not even close to an Aghanim Scepter. And she's been warding this whole game as well.
Yep.
Hasn't been
Playing
SK.
the hard supports.
Actually, SK also has a crap load of wards. They're kind of covering some of the similar roles. I wish Enchant had more HP. I think that's really important. She's not really accomplishing a whole lot at the moment.
Nah, she will be dying pretty fast in a team fight. So, yeah, basically you have to have her standing in the back, maybe doing a little bit of heal, but, well, and of course with the impetus, but she'll be target number 1 maybe for the Ricky, together with the Leshrac.
And Storm Spirit in the jungle still is up to 2,500 gold, so just about to finish his Mystic Staff. A very important milestone. Let's check some gold per minute. 400 GPM on Windrunner, Mantis is at 319, Ricky's at 330, and the Radiant team 443 on Bounty Hunter. He's still farming very, very well. And just about 400 on Leshrac, and 400 on Queen of Pain, so their farm rates are really, really healthy.
Yeah, the gold graph is looking so even during this fight, during this time without any team fights, without any kills. We haven't ever had any kills for a while. It's disappointing.
Yeah, looks like Bounty Hunter picks up the gem. I don't know if he purchased that or somebody else, but he was kind of looking to see if Ricky was going to stroll up the hill. Could have been very dangerous. I think Bounty Hunter has the means to kill him solo at this point, especially with the Desolator up. It's a lot of minus armor. Hard part's chasing him, I think. Track is obviously very useful at that, but it's going to continue cleaving the crap out of the neutrals. And they're going to continue farming their whole jungle, so Dire team maybe pushing up now. They're a little spread out though. Crystal Maiden drops a ward down. I saw a sheep. There's a sheep up on Windrunner, so we're gonna have at least 2 sheeps up very, very shortly. Especially with Storm Spirit almost finishing his. He's just about there.
And that's gonna be big if they don't know yet that Windrunner and Storm Spirit have those. That's gonna be a very interesting team fight. See if they're popping their BKBs on time.
Yeah, they do have 3 BKBs. Queen of Pain does have one now as well, but nobody on the Radiant team has a sheep. So the extra control that's being exerted by those items is going to be huge. Tidehunter picks up a gem as well, so Bounty Hunter going to be less survivable. Even going to put a dust appearance on the ground, pick up some smokes. So, and here we go. Mantis going to go buy his sheep stick. That's going to put his regen into ridiculous levels, as well as give him another nuke and disable. And now he's up to 34 mana per second. That's pretty high.
It is. And there's a sheep stick, yeah.
Yeah, so 2 sheep sticks. Pipe is up on Tidehunter. All of Next.kz's items are coming together.
Egg is already popped on the top lane.
Oh, they apparently killed Ricky Maru.
Yep.
Well, could have been
and
worse.
they back up. Yeah, it's just an Aegis, but at least they don't have that advantage anymore in the next team fight.
Was he just
Even
farming
though with
or
all
something?
those sheeps. Yeah. He was overextending a little bit. And they backed off instantly again after Aegis popped. I mean, they didn't want to have any reinforcements there, and smoke was up actually.
Yeah, it is used on a couple heroes. Windrunner also invisible, a little bit of a glitch there. And Storm Spirit, so 2k mana ready to be spent. We'll see if Ricky can bait this out once again. Didn't happen last time, but may happen again. We'll see if they jump on the Leshrac, go for the Sheep. He's going in, hops in, there's the smoke as well. Sheep goes down to Leshrac, stunned through by SK. Black King bars up on everyone, but Ricky Maru taking a lot of physical damage. Queen of Pain blinks in, Tide Ravage, Ricky goes down. Queen of Pain knows Crystal Maiden dying, sorry. Mantis changing targets, and Leshrac is going to get picked off. Windrunner still in the mix. There's the epicenter coming through, doing a lot of hits on all of these heroes. Windrunner is still alive, but luckily the main damage dealers for both teams are down. Enchant drops, Mantis is about to fall. Windrunner as well, one last hit, and maybe Queen of Pain's going to clean up hard here.
Dire's bottom tower.
3 for 3? Well, not yet. Because I think either Tidehunter or Sand King is probably gonna go down.
Mantis making the plays. Oh my gosh. He was like one cast away from dying there. Did the Sheep, did his combos, very, very patient, and picks off the Queen of Pain. That was so close. And Tidehunter steals the gem, so Tidehunter makes it out with the gem. I bet the gold graph is going to go just a little bit down, not a huge amount. But they only lost 3. Ricky Maru, unfortunately, getting shut down again by the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter's damage is too high physically.
They, I mean, Tidehunter actually already had a gem, so I guess they destroyed it.
I saw a gem drop in the team fight for sure. I don't know if that was
Okay.
Bounty Hunters. Maybe they did destroy it. I don't see one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
they-
it's destroyed.
Cool. So, or they put it back at base. Not sure which. Yeah, there's nothing at base for the Dire team. So destroying one gem, keeping the other, absolutely worth it. So
Yep.
looking really good for Next.kz. They're slowly coming back with their team fights here. Very, very deliberate team fights, but so close. All it takes is like very, very slight mistakes, and that could be the game. If one hero gets picked off at this point, if Storm Spirit dies for nothing, with some chain disables, the game is over. Or at least a Rax.
Definitely. Yeah, and with the Rax, that will be really hard for FC to still have the team fights. Oh, actually, there's a new gem. There's a gem in the base from for FC. So maybe Sand King was able to bring it home,
Yeah, possibly something like that.
as he was the only one that didn't die. So has to be either him or they bought a new one.
Crystal Maiden now level 16. Lots of strength. 3 bracers with the treads and a magic stick. No TP scrolls, but once again, wants as much HP as possible. He may sell these for some vitality boosters shortly. And SK reconnecting a lot faster than the Ricky Maru did before. So
Yeah, nice.
this is pretty epic finals so far, I must say. It's pretty.
It's
Pretty
very
awesome.
even. It could still go either way.
Yeah, really good. Just comes down to the team fights. Next.kz is definitely getting some momentum though. Couple great team fights thus far. It's put them slightly in a much better position than they used to be. Look at the kill graph. I mean, they're only down by 3 kills at this point. Leshrac will pick up a Sheep, so finally the Sheep thing is mixing up a little bit. Sheep on a Storm Spirit is going to be huge. If you can, he actually doesn't have a BKB, so if you just disable him and throw Bounty Hunter on top of him, you could burst him down in time. It's going to be tough, but it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Even Bloodstone does give a lot of health, but Bounty Hunter is pumping out a lot of damage, especially with all those armor thingies.
Minus armors.
Minus armor thingies, yeah.
Minus armor thingies all over the place.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Desolator, Medallion of Courage, and Track.
Alright, Enchantress, still same items, 2k gold for her, saving for buyback most likely, yes indeed. And SK, still no new items either. The old Sentry Observer Ward is not going to leave his inventory. Queen of Pain blinking around as well. Going for a Sheep, so she's getting there. 1,000 gold, needs 1,800. So we'll have 2 Sheep sticks on each team. Is somebody else grabbing a Sheep, or is that pretty much it for the Dire team? I think that's about it.
I think that's it.
From here on out, it's Ricky damage items. Maybe a Manta style or something. Bounty Hunter is thinking about going in, but Tidehunter's actually around as well as the Windrunner, so we've got to be very careful. Tied with the gems, so they might be able to spot the BH. But the rest of the Radiant team is actually on the way, so this could be a
And
team fight.
Smoked. They are smoked.
And I don't think Next.kz knows what's happening. They might even initiate from the high ground. This could be terrible for them. Ricky Maru will get vision. I'm sorry, Bounty Hunter. Oh man, if they might even... Epicenter? He's doing it. He's going in. Epicenter jumping in. There's a stun on 2 heroes. Black King Bar as well, and Leshrac, and the burst damage is huge. Tide Ravage thinking about doing it, but there's 3 heroes with BKB. Yep, he pops it, lands on 2. Storm Spirit goes in. Smoke as well, and they pick off Leshrac as well as SK continuing to do damage, but Mantis is getting hit. There's a gem on the ground, now getting closer to the Enchantress. Enchantress wants to kill Tidehunter. He does drop down, and somehow Next.kz wins that team fight. I can't believe
Whoa.
it.
How did they not kill more faster?
I don't know, man. That was ridiculous. Holy crap. Smoke, something like that. Probably Smoke jumping on the mix. They did a ton of physical damage to SK as well as Leshrac. Those are the most important heroes.
But that was the best initiation of the whole game for SK. I mean, that epicenter was was epic.
Yeah, that was pretty huge. And even Tide Ravage. I thought Tide Ravage was a complete waste, but it wasn't. It did damage to the important heroes.
And it stunned those 2 that were still under the smoke. They weren't able to get any skills off while under the smoke, and that's just really rough. Bless you.
Thank you. I actually muted, so now the stream knows.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you for sharing.
Sorry.
No, they saw me sneeze. It's cool. All right, so wow. So they won the team fight. I mean, part of it is that they have a Storm Spirit and they have a Ricky Maru, so their carry potential is higher. That's part of the reason. I mean, if you think about it, a carry's gold is going to go farther than a non-carry's gold. So here, like Queen of Pain, yeah, she's got a Black King Bar and she's doing good output, but she's not doing as much as a Storm Spirit or a Ricky Maru is. Their only carry at this point is pretty much just Bounty Hunter. I think that's why they're losing the team fights. They have more gold still, but their carry potential is not as high, and Mantis is able to leverage that with his Storm Spirit. He's up to 5k gold now. Shiva's maybe, I'm thinking, maybe Shiva's Boots of Travel at this point is definitely something that he could pick up pretty easily, but he's probably a little bit more worried about team fights. Maybe a BKB would also be very smart.
Yeah, and I also think because both Enchantress and SK are doing the supporty role. Okay, SK actually dropped one of his extra sentry wards in his inventory now, but that actually, because I think Enchantress can be doing good damage, but she doesn't really have her farm up. She has been warding all game, so that's quite of a miss on 4FC.
Yeah, they don't need 2 item slots on 2 of their heroes, like you said. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not stack them up or something? Because I don't know. I like this ward that's been placed by SK. It's pretty smart, but like you said, let Enchantress try to farm up Aghanims. I guess it's too late now. It really is. Like,
Yeah.
it's too tough. She has to farm 4,400 gold. There's no way that she's going to have the options to do that. They need to be more worried about not fighting disjointed team fights. They need to fight 5v5s, and that's pretty much the best way that they can win this. Queen of Pain's going to find a Ginsu at least. So, I mean, now they have 2 Sheepsticks, but it's still looking a little rough for them. Lost like 2 or 3 team fights in a row, just barely, but they still lost. And if you look at the gold graph, down to 6k and dropping, so looking really good for Next.kz.
Yeah, and now the towers are actually even, so this is only farming kills.
Our gems.
But I think Bounty Hunter will be able to get a lot of farm. Ooh, never mind. Bounty Hunter gonna die soon. There we go.
Wow. That was a lot of damage. Gem is dropped, going after a Leshrac, maybe, but Stormstream may back up. Yeah, he does go for a Black King Bar. Very smart choice here. They're going to pick up a second gem, and that was a huge pickup for the Dire team. Getting vision on the Bounty Hunter. That was awesome.
He didn't have a chance at all.
That was Blink, Manta, Diffusal. That's why. All of those illusions were draining. That was like anti-mage Manta style right there, pretty much. 36 mana drained, lots of backstab damage as well, and they picked him off. That was the best hero they could kill. He doesn't have buyback gold. Yeah, he's actually about 50 gold short, so they take the kill, they take the tower, and now the gold graph is getting even closer in Next.kz's favor.
And I think they might be thinking about taking this tower as well. I mean, it's gonna be 4 versus 5, and like you said, the major damage dealer is not there. Ravage is up, just in case. Enchantress is not really doing a lot.
Ooh.
There they go.
Going on Queen of Pain. Black King Bar, Epicenters as well. Mantis getting very, very low HP. His BKB finally being used, but Ricky Maru's jumped through doing big hits. They're going to gush on the Enchantress, but backing up. No need to really pressure this. They still have the Ravage up. Storm Spirit jumps back in, going on Enchant, trying to get the kill. Nice chain stunning. Storm Spirit dies. May end up buying back, but if he buys back, he can't actually TP back in quite yet. And still no buyback from him. I'm surprised. Are they going to take the Rex? They do take the tower. Going for the melee barracks next. If they can take the melee barracks and back off without losing anybody, this will be huge.
They're gonna, yeah, easy.
Ooh,
There's the Ravage.
Jumps on 2 heroes. Mini stun on Leshrac. Ricky is actually hard carrying at this point. There's going to be a track power shot almost getting the kill. Oh, he jumped in. That was a huge mistake from Equal, and he's going to end up dying. That was a giant mistake. Throwing his life away there. They don't need to team fight here, man. Just back up. You took the melee barracks. Wait for the respawns. Storm Spirit barely bought a Boots of Travel. He just waited for the respawn, I think. Oh, yeah, he probably did respawn fast because of the Bloodstone. Losing a lot of his charges.
Yeah, and Bounty Hunter died again. 90 seconds without
wow.
Bounty Hunter.
Crystal Maiden may end up dying. There's the ulti. Great ulti from Queen of Pain. Stunned through by SK getting 2. Mantis dies again. Loses half of his charges. Windrunner being pursued. Dagger on her. And she's a little bit of issue. Doesn't have a Force Staff quite. There's the sheep. There's the stun from SK. And what is Next.kz doing, man?
Overextension at its finest. But they did actually get the buyback out of the Bounty Hunter, so that's a semi-win.
Can they buy back, though? Ricky Maru can. Assuming it's not a cooldown.
I don't think they're gonna be fast enough to push in to get a Rex.
Yeah, probably
there's
not.
only 20 seconds without a Storm Spirit left.
Ooh, no sheep coming. A little bit of a dagger. Poison needle? Yeah, it's throwing daggers. Yeah, Windrunner's buyback. She is going to use it. She had a lot of gold, like 3,800 there. She's got pretty much every item she needs. She doesn't really need anything else. I mean, it'd be nice to have maybe a hood or something, but it's not really required. Maybe a Shiva's, but everybody else respawning at a reasonable time, so looking good for Next.kz. Even though, I mean, that overextension was absolutely not worth it. They could have just taken the tower backed up with 4. They ended up losing like an extra 4 heroes on top of that. But if you look at the gold graph, we're down to 0. It's finally at 0,
oh,
90k
yeah.
for each. So.
Over here now.
And I have to say, with the gold graph at 0, this game doesn't look to be even at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's in favor of Next.kz, of course. But the team, yeah, they really have to land the perfect team fight and maybe catch someone off before they go into a team fight, so they're actually 4 versus 5.
It's gonna be so hard to do that though.
Yeah,
That's the tough part.
Erosion's back up.
Tide pressuring just a little bit, trying to make sure keep himself spread between the enemies. He's actually being really aggressive here. Going to take some pure damage from Enchantress. Spends half of her mana pool just about looking for Shackle, not going to get it. And still looking for an opportunity. He is going to regen this up, but pure damage going right through that pipe. Aegis is still ready to be taken. Cheese as well. More tracks on a couple heroes, so they will be able to see that drop. But for FC, it would be really tough for them to reach out and go across the river like that and still have a good initiation. Next.kz may just shift towards the top lane and push. They could smoke, but obviously there's track on everybody, so it won't even work.
You think Ricky's gonna solo Roche? Ha, no, never mind.
I think he would need a Vlad's to do that. So as long as Tide Hunter's around, I think they could. On the bright side, look at Storm Spirit going to split push now. This is really smart. He's got Boots of Travel anyway, so and the top tower is already gone. So look, he's just going to teleport to the tier 2. He's going to show up towards the mid lane. We'll see if 4FC goes in on it. There's a Radiant Ward up, and they're hitting on the Roshan right now, and he's actually already dead, so it's going to be Cheese probably on Storm.
The creeps are already hitting on the barracks because the tier 3 tower on the top lane for FC was already gone.
That is huge.
The siege creep are just hitting the barracks.
Yeah, so it's only a matter of time now before 4FC loses the top barracks. They're going to take some damage, but they will end up being able to defend it, but they're going to have to back up in the meantime, and now Next.kz is looking for opportunities, possibly to take the mid tier 2. And Tide Hunter's going to be aggressive on that one. Courier bringing back something, maybe. We don't really have any new items on Bounty Hunter. Still hasn't made a lot of progression past the Desolator.
Well, he needs to save for the next buyback, I guess.
Yeah, probably for sure. Oh, Crystal Maiden. Strength all the way, man. Picking up the Reaver.
Yeah. A Reaver? Oh, lol. I saw I had the Brazers, but the Reaver I didn't see yet.
That's new for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of HP, 2k. You could argue that maybe something like a Ghost Scepter would be better, but just raw HP will cover her towards all the different options. So they're actually jumping in on the top lane. Ricky Mar going in, but there's the Black Hole. Or Black King Bar, sorry. A lot of BKBs casted. Tide's gonna Ravage. Only catches like 2 heroes tops. Leshrac doing as much damage as possible, but it might not be enough. So many Magic Immune heroes, and Bounty Hunter is not gonna get killed. That was really close. Epicenter picks off Leshrac. I'm sorry, that's the same team. Stun on Sanking though, and a little bit of Focus Fire. They're gonna drop so many heroes. Tide Hunter is down, but Equal is still alive. Changing targets going on Enchantress. He's gonna back off now. Quite extremely slowed, but Jumps towards the top lane. That's a double Rax. Mid Rax as well. Nope.
Has fallen.
Tower's still up. Looking for... Oh, great Shackle. Catching an invisible hero. I can't believe it. Equal. Looking to initiate. Does a Manta split. Almost dies, though. And yes, it does get the kill. So Ricky goes down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But the tower is probably gonna die too. Crystal Maiden is putting up all her strength into the melee barracks now. And,
Barracks are under attack.
yeah, Windrunner is gonna die here too, but I think that's gonna be a bit too late for the melee barracks. There's just so much damage being done to it, and the creep wave is huge.
Yeah, the creep wave is dry. Next.kz might back off. Looks like Storm Spirit gonna be a little careful. Maybe if Windrunner would have backed off, they would have been able to take that, but... Building's still taking a whole crap load. He does not have BKB up in 3 seconds. He's gonna leave. Plate mail's up. Could finish the Shivas. Buyback as well. Definitely a possibility. Gets Sheep, though. Might be taking a ton of damage. There's the crits. There's the follow-up stun, but the Frostbite. Blink strike through from Ricky Bauer going for a kill. Wants to go Queen of Pain, but there's the Manta split. Now changing targets. Bounty Hunter is not able to find the right one. Here comes the Vortex. And Mantis buys back. Taking those nukes. Gem is picked up by Equal, and I think Next.kz is going to take it, man.
I think so too.
Going after Queen of Pain.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh. I
They're
can't
just not
believe...
backing off.
I can't believe they came back from this.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That is awesome. Alright. ASD being chased. Reaver not doing it. There's gems everywhere. And finally, are they going to go for the barracks? No, they're still diving. Tide comes through, pops the pipe. And a couple more hits. He gets chain stunned. I can't believe it. Tide's finally going to try to go for it. How is this tower surviving? Oh my
The
gosh.
Sea Screep will finish it off quite soon, I think. Nah, they won't.
Oh, please tell me they have buyback at least. I think Storm Spirit's dead for a while because he already bought back.
No, only 40 seconds. He does have a Bloodstone, so it will be quite fast. Well, 40 seconds is quite fast, I think, at least, at that level.
Next.kz celebrating a little bit, throwing the game away slightly. It's not over. I mean, they're all dead, but we will see buybacks, probably.
There is a push going on in the middle.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, they're gonna
If I call it a push, two hero push.
they're gonna try to Rax it. Leshrac will be defending in the meantime, doing a pretty decent job of that. But Windrunner will be able to hold this off pretty much solo. Shouldn't be a huge
Yeah.
issue. Queen of Pain actually comes in. That could be dangerous. Oh, there's gonna be a Sacred Relic on Queen of Pain. She's gonna get a Divine Rapier. Oh my gosh, this is not over yet. Here comes Divine Rapier's purchase plus 300 damage.
Oh dear.
They need to end the game right now. They know it. They know it.
No, I don't think they know it. They don't have vision on her yet, do they?
I don't think the Dire team knows. No, look at this. Sand King coming up the mid. They're going all in right now. They have to win this team fight. Ricky Mars still dead. If they can kill the Queen of Pain, it's over. I don't know if they've checked it yet. We'll see. But that's a lot of damage from Queen of Pain. Too bad it's not Bounty Hunter or something. Looks like Enchant's going to back up. Couple for hits.
The tower is taking a lot of damage.
All they have to do, even if they get a Rex, it's not a huge deal.
Oh. And there's no teleports up. Well, there's Boots of Travel and Enchantress. Oh, there's the epicenter. Gonna catch out the Ricky.
Tide's gonna Ravage. Ulti as well. Queen of Pain doing a lot of damage to Mantis. The hit is gonna pick him off. Storm Spirit goes down. Does he have buyback? He might be on cooldown. He doesn't have enough. Needs 100 gold. That's the only hero that's died. SK survives. Ricky Mar being pursued. Oh my god, if they've thrown it up mid. Going for the disables on Leshrac. Power shot does get 4 staff through. Crystal Maiden taking huge hits. It is going to go down. But Bounty Hunter drops. Ricky picks off Bounty Hunter at least. Going after Queen of Pain now. She does blink away. So trading 2 for 1 there. Not terrible. But in the meantime, the Throne is getting wailed on. Enchantress TP's back. He's got to pull the creep waves past. Melee barracks are still up, but 2 hero creeps wailing on the Ancient. Punch those trees.
Ancient is under attack.
Doing some solid work over here. Queen of Pain gets a kill mid on Windrunner apparently, using that rapier for good effect. Sheep as well, he grabs a gem. There's gems everywhere, man.
Yeah, that gem switched items so fast.
SK gonna blink away and make it out, so... they can even just backdoor this. Ricky's gonna pressure it, pops the Manta style, so pushing bot lane, pressuring all the lanes. And for FC... It's not over yet, but that push was pretty important. Unfortunately, they only got 2 heroes. Storm Spirit will respawn, down to 4 charges now. Has spent a lot on charges so far this game. I don't know if he had buyback or not. He actually needs about a couple hundred before he's able to buy back. Die and buyback, that is.
I don't know. The surprise effect from the Divine Rapier is gone now, though. They know.
Yeah, I think they're aware at this point. And she still wasn't even hitting that hard, surprisingly. It took forever for Storm Spirit to die, but he has a lot of armor, that's why. Picks up that plate mail. Makes a big difference. And he is going to go farming just a little bit to guarantee that he has buyback gold if they end up trying to throw this game a second time. I mean, they could have triple raxed it already, but they decided to dive towers and not hit racks, so...
Yeah, if they do lose this from this point, then it's so their own fault.
Yeah, completely. I would agree with that. And that would be painful, because then they'd have to play through another GosuLeague qualifier if they want to get qualified. That would be really rough.
I'd be really happy for 4FC though. If they manage to come back from this, that would
dude,
be
I would feel bad if I knew that the game was lost and they threw it away. I would feel bad about it. I would be like,
well, yeah.
I don't deserve this, but okay.
Oh really? Oh no.
No, you
it's
would
like
be like
awesome comeback.
I don't know. I don't call that a comeback. I call it Next.kz throwing the game because I think they had it won already. Because they're such a good team. Like, they've played very, very tactically so far. Very great teamwork, and they basically just dove super hard. And they did that multiple times. I think that was them. Maybe not intentionally throwing the game away, but like it wasn't like they played sloppy. It's like they decided to play sloppy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that slightly different. So, but they're still being very safe. A lot of them do have buyback. Ricky's actually completely out of charges. He'd have to make an. I don't know if you could restack charges by buying another recipe or not. I don't believe you can do that.
I don't know.
BKB up on Windrunner as well. It's a nice late game item. Doesn't have to worry about Leshrek, SK. How many Black King bars do we have in this freaking game?
A lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6. That's all.
Only 6. Only the supports and the initiators don't have any. Sand, King, Enchantress, and Crystal Main and Tide.
Yeah, Boots of Travel even up on Tide. He's pretty wealthy. Bounty Hunter on the high
Boots of
ground.
Travel on Tide. Yeah.
Yes, he's fast.
Yeah.
Really
yes.
fast. I love 4FC's positioning though. They're gonna get vision on Windrunner. Maybe gonna go in. They're thinking about it, but they do know. They both have gems. They actually don't have a gem. Next.kz does not have a gem. Here's a gem coming for Tide, so there we go. They do have vision now. Oh, looks like Equal runs into it. Gonna take a ton of damage now. Mantis goes in as well, and Ricky Maru drops right off the bat. 100-second cooldown. He buys back, coming back into the mix. In the meantime, Fountain is taking damage. Tide is gonna ravage this. Creeps are wailing out. There's a TP going back. Somebody's got to defend it. Ricky Maru going in for the back door. Pops the Manta style. 4FC's going to try to defend it, but he's going to go for the kill. And he may be able to get it. Is there a glyph? Glyph is gone. And he gets it. Oh, that is it. Great diversionary tactics. Buys back. Uses the Boots of Travel. Everybody with Boots of Travel. And that is the finals.
It was.
That was pretty good.
Definitely.
Good way to end it, so... Alright, Next.kz is your champion. They're going to join the other 3 teams qualified. We have Captain Planet is qualified. Week 2 was Mouse, and then we got Infused, and finally Next.kz getting qualified for the GosuLeague. So awesome. 4 more to come every Wednesday and Saturdays if you guys want to watch that. So thank you guys for tuning in. That was awesome. My name is Purge. I am here with Sheever. Where can they find you on the interwebs?
Where can you find me? On my Twitch channel, I guess, twitch.tv/Sheever.
Okay, and what about, do you have a Facebook and Twitter?
Oh, yeah, I have a Facebook, I have Twitter, I have YouTube, and you can all find those in my Twitch channel. Info tab.
And you guys should definitely do that. So she is a new trainee caster. Thank you for casting with me. It was really fun. You did very well. Nice job.
Thank you.
Despite it being your first co-caster. Or your first co-cast, that is, so...
That was kind of getting used to, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice. It's very different. The pace changes and all these other weird dynamic things, but... Alright, so that's it for the day, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Once again, coming back on Saturday. 60-14 bracket then instead of the 32. Congratulations to Next.kz. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.